Your names. I have friends. LSC. Kimmy. Lubens. And Yobo. Amazing. Let me check the others very quick. Gerald, Rolf, and Cian. Call them if they attend. They attend. If not, then they are absent. So I hope that you're ready with a pen and a paper so that we can start doing our practicing. The that we're going to use today. Very quickly. Use reassessment. Sorry, things are just taking a little bit of time here. I don't know why doing that. No, this is not gonna work, unfortunately. Please. Apologies, dears. I'm sorry. I don't know why everything is taking a lot of time today. Bad luck. Rolf is here. Hello, Rolf. Rolf, can you hear me?
I can.
Amazing, great. Okay, so allow me a moment and hold on, I'm sorry. Oh no. Okay, so I'm going to use the scenarios that maybe Yoba has some information about. Let's start with this scenario of nutrition and healing. Okay, so the first sentence, I want to all of you please to be ready with a pen and a paper. Let me add all. The first sentence is Mickey, it's going to be all right. The doctor said everything went well last night in the surgery, and Clay's going to be all right as well. Uh, friends? Friends, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi. Um, Sentence. So, do you want me to retake that sentence that you
Just say
took?
the sentence. Do you remember the exercise that we used to do?
Oh,
The
like
same
note
exercise.
taking,
Yep,
right?
note taking. I'm giving you the
All right.
sentence and you take your notes and then you relay the information back to me according to your notes.
All right. I think I got it. 1 second. It's Mickey. He's going to be all right. The doctor said everything went well last night, and the surgery and Claire's going to be all right as well.
Thank you. Give me.
Yes. Mikey is going to be all right. The doctor said everything went well last night and the surgery, and Clay is going to be all right as well.
Thank you. Yobo?
Okay, Nikki is going to be all right. The doctor said everything went well last night in the surgery and the clear is going to be all right as well.
Thank you. Elisi?
Yes, ma'am. Mikey is going to be all right. The doctor said everything went well last night in the surgery. And Clay is going to be all right as well.
Thank you. Lubens?
I'm sorry, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yep, please. Please go ahead.
I didn't catch this first one. I wasn't ready. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll take the next one.
Okay. Rolf? Rolf?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep. Please go ahead.
All right. Nikki is going to be all right. The doctor says everything went well last night, and the surgery and the Clay is going to be all right as well.
Thank you so much. Next
All
sentence.
right.
Um, Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Davis. I am Takesha Cameron, a registered dietitian here at Okla Trauma. How are you doing today? Kimmy?
Yes. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Davis. I'm Taki Shakarmon. I registered the dietitian here at Howak La Trauma. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Yobo?
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Davis. I'm Takesha Cameron, and I'm a registered dietitian here at a Catholic Oromo, whatever. How are you doing today? Yeah. The name of the hospital,
Yep, you
I
didn't
can't,
catch it, which
I
is
didn't catch it. Yeah,
okay.
a college.
Rolf?
Mm.
Rolf?
Yes. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Davis. I am Takesha Davis. I'm dietitian here in Oklahoma. How are you doing today?
Mm, okay, acceptable. Friends. Friends, and heroes. Okay.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yep, we can now.
Uh, my turn. Oh,
Sure.
okay.
Go ahead, my dear.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Davis. I am Takesha Cameron, and and I'm a registered physician here at Bukla Trauma. How are you doing
Mhm.
today?
Amazing, thank you. Elise?
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. David. I'm Tekisha Cameron, registered detention here at Oracle Trauma. How are you doing today?
Okay, but it's not detention, it's dietitian. The dietitian.
Dietitian? Okay, okay, ma'am,
Thank
thank you.
you. Um, Lubens.
Hello, Mrs. Hello, Mr. David. Can you hear me?
Yes, dear. Go on.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. David. Davis, I'm the Takesha Davis. I'm the registered dietitian here in Oklahoma. How can I help you? I didn't get the last one. I'm sorry.
Okay, and dear, you're kinda breaking up, or your voice is like fading away. So just I'm just telling you, in case you can do anything about it. Next sentence, guys. It's tell the dietitian. I have come to talk with you about Clay's nutritional status and whatever needs he may have as he recovers from his jaw surgery. Rolf?
Yes, I just catch the first part. I have come to talk about the crazed dietitian status and hello?
Okay. You just got the first part of the sentence?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yaba?
Okay, I have come to talk with you about the Clay's nutritional studies. Let me start it over, ma'am. I'm sorry. I
No
have
problem.
come to talk with you about Clay's nutritional studies and whatever he needs. Um, and well, he recovers from his jaw surgery. That's yeah.
What and whatever he needs to recover from his jaw surgery, right? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Lubens? Lubens?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I have an issue. I'll try to reconnect back. I have difficulty hearing you. Let me just try to log out and
Oh,
log in back.
okay. Okay. Sure. No problem. Kimmy?
Right. I have come to talk with you about Clay's nutritional status and whatever needs he may have as he recovers from his jaw surgery.
Thank you. Elise?
Yes, ma'am. It's still the dietitian. I've come to talk with you about Clay's nutritional status and whatever he needs he may have as he recover from his jaw surgery.
Can you please repeat the last part and whatever?
Um, right. I mean, and whatever he needs, he may have as he recovers from his jaw surgery.
And whatever he needs, as if
Whatever he needs, he may have
and may have, whatever he needs and may have.
as he recovers.
What does that mean? Whatever he needs and may have
He
as he
may,
recovers.
ma'am. He may have.
Whatever you said, whatever he needs and
He
may
may
have,
have. He may have.
whatever
He.
he needs, he may have.
Yeah.
No, this is not correct. English wise, this is not correct. It doesn't make sense. Whatever he needs, he may have. Whatever needs, he may have.
Yeah. Got you, mom. I got you. So,
Okay, whatever needs he may have, and then whatever needs he may have to do what?
I missed this part. I missed this part, mom. So sorry.
Okay. Friends?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
I do I have to say it's still the dietitian?
No, no, no. That
Uh,
part was only for you guys to just understand that this is the
right.
dietitian.
Okay. I have come to talk with you about Clay's nutritional status and whatever needs he may have as he recovers from his jaw surgery.
Okay, thank you. Please sit down. As you can see, your son has an intravenous line running there in his arm and a couple of tube-like devices inserted into his nostrils. Gimme?
Yes. Please sit down. As you can see, your son has an intravenous lane running there in his arm and a couple of tube-like devices inserted into his nostrils.
Thank you so much. Yaba.
Okay, please sit down. As you can see, your son has a intravenous line running there in his arm, and a couple of well, I kind of missed that part. And the bright devices inserted into his his nostrils.
Okay, thank you so much, except that you have one omission, but thank you. Elise.
Yes, ma'am. Please sit down. As you can see, your son has an intravenous lane running there in his home, and a couple of tube-like devices and inserted into his nostrils.
Thank you. Friends?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, dear.
Um, please sit down. As you can see, can I start over?
Sure, sure.
I please sit down. As you can see, your son has an intravenous line running there in his arm and a couple of tube-like devices inserted into his nostrils.
Great, thank you. Rolf?
Hmm. Yes. Please sit down. As you can see, your son has an intravenous vein in his arm and a couple of black devices and a couple of two black devices
Hmm?
and his nostril.
Okay, acceptable. Thank you. Clay is receiving oxygen through those little nasal prongs that are inserted just to the inside of his nostrils. And the other tube is going into this right nostril. This is called NG tube. That stands for nasogastric.
Ma'am,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but I didn't catch anything. Um, I'm sorry.
Yobo,
Yeah,
the speaker is not all the time going to give short sentences, so you need to make sure that you
yes,
follow the speaker.
yeah. You just start like all of a sudden start delivering. Without maybe
Okay.
yeah letting us know.
Okay, I'll let you till the end. I'll let you, like, I'm going to give you the sentence again
Okay.
in the end. Let me hear the others first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Elise.
Yes, ma'am. Um, Clay is receiving oxygen through those later nasal prongs that or insert it just to the inside of his nostrils,
Mhm.
and the other two is going into this right nostril. This is called NG tube. It stands for nasal gas tube.
Thank you. Friends?
Yes. I, I'm sure that you can hear me, right?
Yep, I do.
Great. Clay is receiving oxygen through those little nasal prongs that are inserted just to the inside of his nostrils,
Hmm.
and the other tube is going into his right nostril. This is called NG tube, that stands for nasogastric.
Amazing. Thank you. Kimmy?
Clay is receiving oxygen to those little nasal prongs that are inserted just to the inside of his nostrils, and the other tube is going into this right nostril. This is called NG tube, that stands for nasogastric.
Amazing. Thank you. Rolf? Rolf? Rolf, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can right now. Please go
Okay.
ahead.
Clay is receiving oxygen through his nostril, that is inside his nostril.
I'm sorry, hold on. Can you please throw it over because you I'm not sure. Maybe you were breaking up. There was something wrong in the middle.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I do now. Clay is receiving oxygen?
Mm-hmm. Clay is receiving oxygen through
Hmm.
there's actually a word here I didn't actually catch,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and that is inside his nostril.
Okay.
Mhm. And then we have the word nostril that stands for nostril gastric.
Mm, okay. But unfortunately, like this is not an informative kind of sentence, so it's messing a lot. Like it does really mess the sense actually. If
Yeah,
we
yeah. I
just
was
yeah.
just
Okay. So
yeah.
okay, so I'm going to repeat the sentence again for Yaba. I guess you heard it from the others, but I'm going to repeat it to you. Yaba and Rolf. Okay?
I'm sorry.
Yaba and you, Rolf, please hear the sentence again. Take your notes, and I'm going to ask you to give me the sentence one more time. Okay?
Okay.
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 And Lubens, welcome back. Can you hear me? Oh, Lubens left. Okay, anyways. The sentence is Clay is receiving oxygen through those little nasal prongs that are inserted just to the inside of his nostrils. The other tube that is going into this right nostril is called NG tube. That stands for nasogastric. Okay. Yobo, can you please give me the sentence?
Okay. Clay is receiving oxygen produce little nasal prongs. I guess that's what
Mhm.
I heard. That is
Okay.
inserted um, to the inside of his nostrils. Well, in the inside, and his
Inside of
nostril
his what?
that is inserted to his inside,
Inside what?
his lungs, maybe.
No, no, the
Pro-
nostrils. The nostrils are the opening of your nose. You have two nostrils
Okay.
in
What is
your
it?
nose. This is
Mhm.
the right nostril and this is the left nostril.
Okay.
Let me write it here for you on the chat.
Mhm.
Nostrils. the openings of your nose.
Yep, I know.
Okay, go
His
on.
nostrils are
Mhm.
okay. His nostrils are well.
Okay, start over. Start over.
Next time, man. Yeah, I don't
Start
think
over. No
I'm gonna
problem.
be able to make it. Yeah. Um, Clay is receiving oxygen produced to his little nasal prongs. That is an insert to his insert to his inside of his nostrils. That the other tube that is going into this right nostrils is gone. Well,
Nope.
I'm messing up everything.
Okay, let me explain. No problem. I will explain the sentence to you. Let
Yeah.
me hear Rolf first.
Okay. Mhm.
Rolf, please go ahead.
Yes,
Rolf,
can
we
you hear me
can't
now?
hear. Oh, here you are. Okay, go ahead, please.
Mhm. Clay is receiving oxygen through those amazing bones that are inserted in the inside of his nostril. The other tube that is going to this right nostril is called NG2.
Mhm.
That's in for nasogastric.
Amazing. Okay, great. So, thank you so much, Rolf, and welcome back, Lubens. Not sure if you really caught the
Hello,
sentence
can you
or
hear me?
not. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
No, I couldn't.
You can't.
Okay, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now. Okay, thank you
Mhm.
so much. This is correct. Thank you. Lubens, can you hear me?
Sure, I can hear you. Can you hear me back?
Yep. Okay, so
Okay,
did you hear the sentence?
sure. It is Kimmy Clay is receiving oxygen through those little nasal prongs that are inserted just to the inside of his nostrils.
Mm-hmm.
The other tube that is going into this right nostril is called NG tube that
Mm-hmm.
stands for nasogastric.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So I'm going to explain this sentence to Yoba. It seems like Yoba didn't really catch the sentence, maybe because he didn't quite understand everything about it. So, Yoba, the dietitian is saying that Clay is receiving oxygen through those little nasal prongs. What are the nasal prongs? If you look it up on Google, you will find that the nasal prongs are more like a cannula. If you know the cannula that you can put on your hands, okay? But they have small prongs that they put inside the patient's nose to help them breathe, to get oxygen through those prongs. You can look it up on Google and you will like have a picture of how it looks like. So again, Clay is receiving oxygen through those little nasal prongs that are inserted inside of his nostrils. So those are going inside his nostrils. And then she's saying the other tube, he has two tubes. If you remember, she said that he is using an intravenous line running in his arm and a couple of tube like devices inserted into his nostrils. That was the previous sentence, right? So she's explaining more about the tube like devices, the devices that look like a tube. Okay. So again, she's saying the other tube, so that was the first tube, the tube that he gets oxygen from. The other tube going into his right nostril, this tube is called NG tube. This is the NG tube. That stands for nasogastric. You can also look up what an NG tube look like, and you will get to understand more what the dietitian is talking about. Okay, I guess it's clear now.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to give you another sentence. Please be ready. And Lubins, thank you so much. You got the last sentence correct. Um, Here is the sentence, guys. I want you to please be ready. The tube extends through the nose and the nasal cavity, down the esophagus, and into the stomach. This is how your son is going to be receiving his daily nutrition for a while. Okay, Kimmy.
The tube extends through the nose and the nasal cavity, down the esophagus, and into the stomach. This is how your son is going to be receiving his daily nutrition for a while.
Amazing, thank you. Lubens.
Can you hear me?
Yes, dear. Go ahead.
Okay. The tube extends through the nose and the nasal cavity, down the esophagus, and into the stomach. This is how your son is going to be receiving his daily nutrition for a while.
Amazing, thank you so much. Yoba?
Yep. The tube extends through the nose and the nasal cavity, down the esophagus, and into the stomach. This is how your son is going to be receiving his daily nutrition for a while.
Amazing. Friends?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Um. Okay. So, the tube extends through the nose and the nasal cavity, down the esophagus, and into the stomach. Mm, okay. This is how your son is going to be receiving his daily nutrition for a while.
Amazing, thank you. Elise?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yep.
The tube extends through the nose and nasal cavity, down the esophagus, and intend stomach. Intend the stomach. This is how your son is going to be receiving his daily nutrition for a while.
Thank you. Well,
Can you hear me now?
yep.
The tube extends through the nose and the nasal cavity and down the esophagus and into the stomach. This is how your son is going to receive his daily nutrition for a while.
Amazing. Guys, did you actually like had this scenario with Zarna before, or you're all doing a great job today? Have you had it before with Zarna?
Now,
Myself,
now, ma'am. Now,
Nope. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you so
we
much.
didn't have
I'm
anything.
really
Not
amazed.
at all.
Great.
Not at all.
Amazing. Okay. Okay. So here is the next sentence. Um the intravenous feeding exists, which we call parenteral nutrition, but it's not as effective as the NG tube. Okay. Lubens. Lubens. Lubens, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I was confused with my notes. Let me just set it up and tell it to you.
Okay, no problem. You're still taking your notes? Okay, let me hear LEC first.
ma'am, my turn.
Yep.
Okay, well, the intravenous feeding exits, which we call parenteral nutrition,
Mhm.
but it's not as effective as the NG tube.
Amazing. Thank you. Kimmy?
The intravenous feeding exists, which we call parenteral nutrition, but it's not as effective as the NG tube.
Amazing. Friends?
Um, let's say, can you hear me? Right.
Yep. Yep. We can hear you.
Okay. But like I'm just reading my notes. I don't know. The intravenous feeding exists, which we call guaranteed real nutrition, but it's not as effective as the NG tube.
Okay, but it's called parenteral or parenteral nutrition.
What
Thank
is
you.
it? What is it?
Okay, let me write it down here on the chat for you to get this the word again. Parenteral nutrition.
Parenteral nutrition, right?
Yep. Like
Okay.
like the NG tube. This is a
Ah,
different. I'm going to actually like. Okay, so the dietitian is going to to explain more about it later. I'm going to give you that so you will
okay.
understand more about it. So thank you, friends.
Uh,
Yaba.
Okay, the intravenous feeding exists, which we call parenteral nutrition, but it is not effective as the NG tube.
Thank you. Rolf?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
The intravenous feeding exists, which we call parenteral nutrition, but which is not as effective as the NG tube.
Yeah, but it's not as effective as the NG tube. Next sentence. Parenteral nutrition is designed only to supplement what a patient is able to indigest by mouth. As you can see, Clay is not able to ingest anything by mouth. Should I like go on or that's enough? I actually want to give you a longer sentence.
oh, so you want to
Sure, this
try it,
one.
really?
Yeah, I actually want to give you a longer sentence because you have to also get used to longer sentences. Because most of the time they don't give just one sentence and they stop. They give one or two sentences and they might stop. Okay, anyways, we're gonna do that in the
Next
next
time.
sentence. Next time, okay, no
Yeah.
problem. Next sentence. Um Lubens. Lubens.
Hey, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yep.
Okay, parenteral nutrition is designed only to supplement what a patient is able to ingest by mouth. As you can see, Clay is not able to ingest anything by mouth.
Great, thank you. Yobo?
Okay, parenteral nutrition is designed only to supplement what a patient is able to indigest by mouth. As you can see, Claire is not able to ingest anything by mouth.
Yeah, it's actually ingest. I'm sorry. I just read it as indigest, but it's actually ingest. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Friends?
Yeah. So parental nutrition is designed only to supplement what a patient is able to ingest by mouth, right? As you can see, Play is not able to ingest anything by mouth.
Thank you. LEC?
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Um, Parental nutrition is designed only to supplement what patient is able to ingest. You said, ma'am,
Yep. Ingest.
ingest by mouth. As you can see, Clay is not able to ingest anything by mouth.
Thank you. Kimmy?
Parental revenue is a designed Parental revenue is designed only to supplement what a patient is able to ingest by mouth. As you can see, Clay is not able to ingest anything, and by mouth.
By mouth. Okay. Kimmy, please check your connection. Oh, I am actually losing connection. Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, yes, I
Sure.
can hear you, ma'am.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, ma'am.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Sure. I can.
Uh,
Yes.
Sure,
okay,
sure,
I'm sorry,
sure,
I
I
lost
sure.
can
you
hear
for
now.
like
Yeah.
3 seconds or something. Okay, great. So, next sentence. Um, Although this complicates his care, the insertion of a nasogastric feeding tube allows us to supply most of his daily requirements of vitamins, carbohydrates, dextrose, a type of sugar, through a highly specialized formula that the nurse administers into the tube on a scheduled basis. Rolf, can we please begin with you? Because I remember that I actually missed hearing you in the previous sentence. If you want, you can give me the previous sentence and this sentence as well. Rolf, can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, yes, I can
Yes,
hear.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Rolf?
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear now.
Okay, Rolf, please go ahead.
The previous sentence.
Yeah, if you'd like, that's fine. It's just because I lost you for like a few seconds, so I forgot to actually ask you to give me the sentence.
Yeah. Parental nutrition is designed only to supplement what a patient is able to digest by mouth. Clay is not able to digest anything by mouth.
Okay, thank you. So what is the new sentence?
Um, I didn't actually take the new sentence because I was cutting off a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Yaba, no problem.
Yeah. Even me, ma'am. I did not take
It
any.
was breaking up.
Yeah.
Guys, did anyone catch the sentence?
I do. I catched it.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. It is, although this complicates his care, the insertion of a nasogastric feeding tube allows us to supply most of his daily requirements of vitamins, carbohydrates, dextrose, a type of sugar, through a highly specialized formula that the nurse administers into the tube.
On a scheduled basis, but thank you so very much, Lubens. Amazing.
I can
Uh,
also give it a try, ma'am.
sure, please go ahead.
Let me give it a try. Although this complicates a scare, the insertion of a nasogastric feeding tube allows us to supplement most of its daily requirements of vitamins,
Hmm.
and carbohydrates.
Hmm.
Their extras, the extras, a type of sugar
Hmm.
through highly specialized formula that the nurse ad- administers into the tube is a scheduled basis.
Amazing. On a scheduled basis. Thank you so much, Elise.
Uh, I can try, I guess.
Please. Okay.
Uh, Although This complicates his care. The insertion of a nasogastric feeding tube allows us to supply most of his daily requirements of vitamin, carbohydrates, the extrudes of a type of sugar through a highly specialized formula that the nurse administers into the tube on a scheduled basis.
Amazing. Thank you. Kimi?
Although this complicates his care, the insertion of a nasogastric feeding tubes allow us to supply most of his daily requirements of vitamins, carbohydrates, the extras type of sugar to a highly specialized formula that the nurse administers into the tube on a scheduled basis.
Amazing. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the sentence for Yaba and Rolf. Um, so the sentence again was, although this complicates his care, the insertion of an astrogastric feeding tube allows us to supply most of his daily requirements of vitamins, carbohydrates, dextrose, a type of sugar, through a highly specialized formula that the nurse administers into the tube on a scheduled basis. Okay, so Yoba and Rolf, who can give me the sentence?
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Sure.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I
Okay.
do.
Uh,
Rolf first.
okay. Although this complicates this the cert, the, cer- the insert the insertion
Mhm.
of an extras feeding and highly to supply most of the daily requirements of vitamins, carbohydrates, extrusion,
Vitamins,
type of sugar, um, uh, which is highly specialized. Well, I didn't catch the rest. I'm sorry. Mhm.
Yep. Okay. Rolf.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Although this is complicated care, the insertion of an astrogastric feeding tube allows us to supply most of these daily requirements of vitamins, carbohydrates, dextrose, a type of sugar, through a highly specialized formula that the nurse administers into the tube on a onto the tube on a schedule basis.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Except that the name of the tube is nasogastric feeding tube,
Nasogastric.
the
Okay.
NG tube. Okay.
And
Thank you.
and
Okay. Next sentence. Nasogastric intubation is a type of internal nutrition that involves feeding directly into the stomach or intestines. It is not always possible when the face is injured because access to the nose and throat are necessary. However, in Clay's case, his nose and the supporting bones of the cheeks did not suffer any trauma. This is the last sentence, and I will let you leave in peace. Who wants to start?
I want.
Please go ahead.
Um, Nasogastric intubation is a type of internal and nutrition that involves feeding directly into the stomach or intestines. It is not always possible when the face is injured because access to the nose and throat are necessary. However, in Clay's case, his nose and the supporting bones of the cheeks did not suffer any trauma.
Thank you. Well,
Well, I can
I
I
will.
can't. Go ahead,
okay,
Lubens.
friends. Friends first and then Lubens.
All right, let me see. Wait 1 second. Nasogastric intubation is a type of internal in UH nutrition that involves feeding directly into the stomach or intestines. It is not always possible. The face is injured because access to the nose because of its access to the nose and throat are necessary. However, in Clay's case, his nose and the supporting bones of the cheeks did not suffer any trauma.
Great, thank you so much. Okay.
Now my turn.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Nasogastric intubation is a type of internal nutrition that involves feeding directly into the stomach or intestines. It is not always possible. The face, it is not always possible the, when the face is injured because access of the nose and throat are necessary. However, in Clay's case, his nose and the supporting bones of the cheeks did not suffer any trauma.
Amazing, thank you. Who else? Yobo, did you catch the sentence?
But left, whatever.
Yoba left? Really? I can't see that. Oh, okay. Um, Rolf.
Yes, can you hear me? Hello?
Yep, please go ahead. Can hear you.
Nasogastric intervention is a type of internal nutrition that involves feeding directly into the stomach or intestine. It is not always possible when the face is injured because access into the nose and through the throat are necessary. However, in the Clay case, his nose is and his supported bone of his cheek is not suffering any trauma.
Okay, thank you. LC?
Nose gastric intubation is a type of internal and nutrition that involves feeding directly into the stomach or intestines. It is not always possible when the first is injured because access to the because access because access just give me a second because access to the nose and throat are necessary. However, in Clay's case, his nose and the supporting bones of the chest does not suffer any trauma.
Amazing. Great, amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, so this is the end of today's session. Thank you so much for meeting me today. Thank you for doing a great job today. I'm going to send the feedback about each and every one of you. But, guys, I want to let you know something that if you are using the captions, this is not gonna help you in the future because in real calls, captions are misleading. I might here try as much as I can to articulate every and each word I'm saying correctly and clearly so that you can hear me and practice with me. But in real calls, speakers, they are not most of the time are actually native English speakers. They speak with accents and the audio is not all the time clear, as if I'm trying to do here in the training. So most of the time captions are misleading. It's not going to help you in your calls.
Hello, hello.
Please make sure that you're not having captions on and you are actually practicing with
Okay.
your own skills. Okay, thank you all of you for attending
Hello.
today's session. Hello, Rolf.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Could you just say that again? I was working a little bit.
Yeah, I was just saying that if you're using captions, please don't do that because you're not helping with yourself and your skills with having captions on. Just in case, I know that you're not using it. I'm just giving you an advice because again, as soon as you start taking calls, it's not gonna be clear. It's actually most of the time misleading, so it's not gonna give you the speech as it is. Here in the training, we try as much as we can to be clear in giving you the sentences so that you can practice the best way. But in real calls, you have to rely on your skills, your ears, your mind, and your hands. Okay? Thank you all of you again for attending today's session. The next session should be with Zainab. I was just taking over today. So I wish you all best of luck, and I'm going to send my feedback about you to Zainab. Thank you, and keep practicing until next session.
I have a question.
Sure,
I've,
very quickly, please, because I have another session now.
like, what can you tell me about the assessment, if you can, please? I would like to have an idea.
Okay, I apologize. I really don't have answers about the questions that you have about the assessment. Keep your questions about the assessment to Zainab because she's the one who's doing the assessments. She knows everything about the assessment, but I really, because I'm not involved in the assessment, so I really don't have information about that. I apologize, my dear. Just
Okay.
ask Zainab about the assessment. Thank you again. See you on Monday. Bye bye.